The Crypto Markets Update is presented by Grayscale, the world's largest digital currency asset manager. Joining us now to discuss the crypto markets is MarketGauge Group Managing Director Michele Schneider in New Mexico. Hello there, Michele.
Good morning.
So ETH is hitting an all-time high, and what are your thoughts on? Are you going to? Have you been trading in SHIB? Have you been trading in ETH?
I actually have traded SHIB for the first time. I was so proud of myself because I feel like I've entered, well, I think I've shed like 40 years from my life actually doing that. So in a good way, I mean, you know, it's really fun to join the momentum and so much of what's going on in the dog coins particularly, and that type of emotional reaction where you can just sort of get in and ride the fever seems like a brand new thing, but for those of us who've been around long enough, it was kind of the way commodities were back in the heyday, where you didn't have to know anything about it. You just knew that the momentum, the volatility, and the volume came in and the excitement, and you just go in and followed it and got out when the momentum started drying up. And that may not last forever, but it's certainly what's going on right now. But one thing I do want to mention about SHIB, different than what Lawrence was saying about Ethereum, is that SHIB has no scarcity. There are, I just read 49 trillion coins around. And so that makes it really, it's not a scarce situation. It's strictly an emotional momentum type of play.
Although in all fairness, with that, even though it has trillions of coins out there, it doesn't really matter. I mean, in all those situations, because you could put $100 into SHIB, you could put $100 into ETH. It's not going to make a difference. I think what the issue is with ETH is that the amount decreases. So even if you had an equivalent amount of ETH, it wouldn't change much other than, you know, price percentage wise wouldn't change. It's the decreasing amount and people still holding, and much, as Umkar Gadboli said, it was the equivalent of a stock buyback. But the other question I have is, speaking of scarcity or lack thereof, is the ETF, the Bitcoin ETF. Has the interest waned in the ETFs? Are people kind of basically they've just about had it? They saw what it could do, or is there any kind of momentum building with other ETFs coming online? Do you think that we've just about had it with these ETF these futures ETFs?
You're talking about like BITU, the new one, BITU?
No, in this case, I'm talking about the Bitcoin ETFs. Yes, in general, all of them.
So, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd say maybe a little bit of both, if I can kind of put my feet on both sides of that fence there. I think that there's, like, look what's happening with Robinhood. I mean, that might be the classic thing with the Doge and SHIB coins, is that where people were buying it through Robinhood, now they're able to do it through actually real crypto exchanges. And there may be more of a movement towards doing that, as opposed to buying certainly the delayed Grayscale ETFs and now the new one. But on the other hand, I think that it's new, and I believe that it will continue to catch fire over time. It's certainly going to be perceived, particularly I think by older generations, as a more position-based place to put on something, as opposed to trading the coins and getting in and out, which has been a lot of fun, particularly in those, like I said, those dog coins.
Michele, the market has been so frothy lately. I mean, with the ETFs and the all-time highs. I mean, do you see any possibility of a correction coming anytime soon?
Emily, are we talking about now equity market, or are we still talking crypto market?
No,
I just want to make sure.
Bitcoin specifically. Sorry, Bitcoin specifically.
Well, you know, I think we see this over and over again. What's been so interesting about all of the coins, actually, and including Bitcoin, is that they've become pretty technical. And so you can listen to news and upgrades, downgrades, and all different types of analyst comments, from the most bullish to the most bearish. But ultimately, as a trader, I have always relied on price, historical price action, and what the price is telling us. And what we've seen with Bitcoin in particular is that it consolidates. It actually goes down in volatility for a while, and then something happens. Whatever the trigger is, it doesn't matter. You just know from a technical standpoint, it breaks out of a certain area. So now we just had those highs, and now we've come in consolidating between 58, 60,000, really. And I think if we can get through 64,000 again, we'll see 75, 80, probably sometime in November, maybe December.